people on our agenda today are, you may know them as Rogue Politics. How many of you have heard the podcast, Rogue Politics? This is, girls, come on up. This is Catherine Dreyer and Kirby Lane. They came to deliver you some information about SJR 74. They have taken a lot of time and effort and energy to dive into the Missouri Ethics Commission reports. I've done that myself. It's a time-consuming endeavor, so I appreciate your efforts in discovering information and then being willing to share with the rest of us. So.
Good afternoon. Thank each and every one of you for being here today. We are Rogue Politics. I'm Kirby, and I'm Catherine. We have a podcast and a YouTube channel that we use to follow the money trails in Missouri politics. We pull on the thread of corruption to see what unravels, and we share our findings with you. Our motto is follow the money. So we've been following the money for about a year now regarding what has been called initiative petition reform, but really is concurrent majority ratification, or CMR. IP reform has gotten a bad rap because citizens believe that we are taking away their ability to petition for constitutional change, when that is not what we are trying to do at all. We want to protect our Constitution by preventing the tyranny of the majority. We've spent months trying to understand why an issue that's a priority for the Missouri Republican Party platform and has been a top priority for our Republican caucus for years, but it just can't seem to get done. We'd like to share with you what concurrent majority ratification is, why it is important and urgent now, who some of the big money players are opposing CMR, and which politicians are financially benefiting from these players.
The concurrent majority principle is the very foundation of the American form of public policy making. In a constitutional republic, such as we are, majority rule is not the way. Missouri's current ratification process is 50% plus one vote to adopt an amendment forever changing our Constitution. Mob rule. This is far too easy of a process, and it allows outside and out-of-state interests to control our government. Concurrent majority ratification is a process that requires concurrence or agreement between a broad section of society before we change our Constitution. Think of the Electoral College. We do not elect our president by popular vote, nor would we want to, as it would take away the voice of rural America. Much the same, amending our Constitution by popular vote allows large cities such as St. Louis, Kansas City, Springfield, and Columbia to be the voice of Missouri as a whole. We must fight to keep our voice in rural America. The best way to maintain a fair ratification process is Senate Joint Resolution 74 as currently written, because it uses consensus of state House districts for ratification. What this means is that an amendment would require both statewide popular vote and to win a majority of Missouri House districts. We must get SJR 74 passed now in order to stop the left's current attack on our Constitution. We must put SJR 74 to a vote of the people on the August ballot. This is not a process to be delayed. Currently, there is a petition to put abortion on our state ballot. It is called the Right to Reproductive Freedom Initiative. If we don't pass concurrent majority ratification, if this initiative petition lands on our ballot, it will most likely be passed by the mob, forever enshrining abortion in our Constitution. In less than 1 month, the Missourians for Constitutional Freedom, which is the PAC behind this initiative, raised nearly $3 million. That's just from January up to today. $1 million of that came from the 1630 Fund, which is a nonprofit progressive PAC out of Washington, D.C. I don't know about you, but that terrifies me. This is what we mean by out-of-state money coming in and changing our Constitution. This is why we need ratification reform now. So who's going to stop this? Who's going to push forward SJR 74 so we can make our Constitution more difficult to amend? Stop the flow of outsider interests and money in our state, and with God's help, keep abortion off of our Constitution. Based on our research into the money opposing concurrent majority ratification, we can tell you who isn't likely to help. And by all means, please stop by their offices when we're done here.
So two of the largest opponents that we found are Right Path PAC and the Missouri Realtors Association. Right Path PAC is Washington University's progressive PAC. All of their startup funding came from WashU alumni who make the big bucks. Now, why would Right Path PAC oppose congressional majority ratification? Well, they were the PAC behind gender transitioning of minors. Since it is a PAC directly affiliated with WashU, it's important to know that WashU uses aborted fetuses, aborted babies, for stem cell research. WashU also trains abortion doctors. They have a financial interest in making abortion legal in Missouri, and Right Path PAC is their financial arm. Now, I was just talking with my friend, Chris Garrett, who is the director of Gays Against Rumors, and he mentioned to me that if we don't get congressional majority ratification passed, it's possible that we could even see the mutilation of children in the name of gender dysphoria on our ballot. So whose PACs are receiving money from Right Path PAC? Well, I'll give you the top 5, but we have a sheet at our table back there where you can see all of them. We only looked at donations of $5,000 or more. So starting in 5th place, and this is why we think we're having a hard time getting CMR passed, who's likely to fight against it. So starting in 5th place, Senator Rusty Black at $85,000 for Right Path PAC. Representative Dean Blocker with $100,000. Senator Lincoln Huff with $110,000. Senator Curtis Trent with $125,000. And coming in at number 1, our Senate Pro Tem, Senator Caleb Rowden, with $200,000. Now, it is Rowden at the Missouri Senate Leadership Conference who removed our Freedom Caucus members from their chairmanships and their parking spaces. Now, the Missouri Realtors Association is another organization opposed to CMR, mainly because they've been misled as to what IP reform really is. They've been led to believe we want to change the initiative petition process, which is not what we're trying to do. Nevertheless, they're pouring money into opposing it. They created a PAC called Missourians for Fair Governance, which currently has $200,000 in it, all from the Missouri Association of Realtors, who get their money from all the various city and county association of realtors. So we researched whose PACs have received money from the Missouri Realtors PAC in just 2023, and here are your top 5. Coming in at number 5, Senator Lincoln Huff with $8,500, Senator Caleb Rowden at $10,000, Representative John Patterson at $10,000, Representative Dan Ho with $12,500, and at number 1 is our Lieutenant Governor, Mike Kehoe, with $15,000. Oh, and by the way, many of the senators and representatives we've mentioned are running for statewide office, or they have filed to run for statewide office.
Both Right Path PAC and the Missouri Association of Realtors have many lobbyists that have the money and the power to try to persuade our legislators. They are likely walking the halls right now, circling like sharks, but they don't run this state. We did not elect lobbyists or the elite to tell us what to do. represent us.
That's right.
And they are beholden only to the Constitution and the citizens of Missouri.
That's right.
We are taking back our state and our Constitution with the passage of SJR 74.
And now for our shameless plug. Please stop by our table if you'd like to learn more about what we do and especially more about our research. We're right back there. Follow us on Twitter at Rogue Politics Mo and on Facebook and YouTube at Rogue Politics. Thank you.